for single crop?
Plantation.
Plantation.
Plantation, right. So in intensive subsistence farming, what factor is intensive?
Ma'am, they use a high amount of fertilizers, pesticides, and
labor.
labor
intensive.
and even labor also.
Labor based.
It is not even labor, it is first labor. It is places where there is heavy population, so it is first labor intensive. And of course, biochemicals are also used. So what is the other name for primitive subsistence farming?
Slash and burn. Slash and
Maurya,
burn.
can you tell me the answer?
So they use slash and burn.
Slash and burn.
Yeah, is Maurya there? No? Where is he? I cannot see Maurya on the screen too. Maurya, tell me, what's the other name for primitive subsistence farming? He hasn't come back. Aman?
Ma'am, slash and burn.
Slash and burn. So what's the name given to slash and burn farming in the northeastern states?
Zooming. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, zooming.
Zooming. Kanika, I don't hear any answers from you. What is it known in Indonesia? You're reading through the book, child. It's Ladang.
Okay. I haven't memorized that.
You need to remember all of them. Start doing that. Shubhangi, tell me the names of the major rabi crops. Shubhangi? No? Haven't joined us yet? Ishan, can you tell me the names of the major rabi crops?
Aman, mute your mic.
Ma'am, pea, gram.
Yes.
Barley.
Wheat, barley, gram, peas, and
Yeah.
mustard.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please mute yourself, children. So today we'll start with today's lesson.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
Yeah.
Can you please explain the right of inheritance again?
The rule of inheritance.
Yeah.
So the rule of inheritance is something like when certain property or land is passed on from one generation to the other. Like if your grandfather has a plot of land, he is going to give it to his children, right? So he might be having two children. So the land is divided amongst the two. And his two children might be having individually two children. So there are 4 children there, right? So again, that plot of land is divided. So the land holding size is going on reducing as it's moving from one generation to the other. But the farmers don't have any other source of livelihood. So they're completely dependent upon that patch of land. So they try to get maximum out of that small plot of land that they have, because of which the pressure on the land is increasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shrishti? Okay.
Yes.
So this is what we've studied in the last class. We've studied about the types of farming, the 3 types of farming, that is primitive subsistence, intensive subsistence, and commercial farming. Then we went on to study about the 3 crops, the 3 major crops, the cropping patterns, that is the Rabi, Kharif, and Zaid. Here we got to know about various different crops which are grown in different seasons, like wheat, barley, pea, gram, mustard, paddy, maize, jowar, tur, all so many names, right? So these are basically a variety of food as well as non-food crops that are grown, which are being growing in different parts of our country. And depending upon various factors such as soil, climate, cultivation practices, depending upon them, so various different crops grow in different parts of our country. So today we're going to discuss about the major crops that India grows. You can see here on the map, as we already know, 2/3 of India's population is in agriculture. So these are the various crops which are grown in India, all over India. If you can see, we grow rice, wheat, jowar, bajra. Now we're going to classify these crops so that we can understand and learn better. That is, just a minute.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah?
Ma'am, there's something wrong with Shubhangi's system. She's not able to connect, so she called me and asked me to tell you.
Okay. So see here, children, this is a slide on your major crops. I need to do the slideshow, right? Huh. So these are the major crops. So what I've just told you is the major crops can be classified into food crops and non-food crops. And so they're growing in different parts of our country based upon, depending upon the soil, climate, and the cultivation practices. So because we cannot grow all crops in all places because there's certain requirements based upon which these crops grow. You can see here the names of the major crops. So these are the list of the major crops that we grow in India: rice, wheat, pulses, millets, maize, sugarcane, oilseeds, tea, coffee, horticulture. You can see all of them. So these are the names of the different crops grown in India. But basically the major crops are divided into two kinds. That is food crops and non-food crops.
Non-food crops.
As the name itself signifies, food crops means crops which we, the outcome that is, the resulting outcome is what we eat, we can eat. And non-food crops which cannot be eaten. So here you can, yeah? Yeah, Aniket?
Ma'am, we can call non-food crops as cash crops also, no, ma'am?
No, child. Cash crops are something different. I'll go to them. Cash crops is to
Okay,
earn
ma'am.
money. We'll go to that later on. So
Okay,
here,
ma'am.
these are food crops. Now you can see the major food crops here. Again, they have been divided into two categories. One is grains and the other food crops which are not grains. So basically food crops have been classified, major crops have been classified into food crops and non-food crops. And food crops have further been classified into grains and food crops other than grains. So you can see here, under grains, you have rice, wheat, millets, maize, and pulses. They are all in the form of grains. And here, sugarcane, oilseeds, tea, coffee, horticulture. I'm sure all of you all know. What is horticulture? Who can tell me that? Horticulture.
Growing of vegetables and fruits.
Yes, Reva, growing of vegetables and fruits, correct. So all of these are not in the form of grains, right? So these food crops are crops other than grains. So this is the major classification between food crops, non-food crops, grains, and other than grains. So now we're going to study each of them in detail so that you understand what is the requirement to grow such a crop. So this is the classification that I was talking to you about. If you can see that. Now, we are going to study about the major crops. First, the food crops in form of grains. So the first crop that we are going to study is about rice. Rice, as you all of you all might be aware, is a staple food for majority of the Indians. Most of the Indians live on rice. And because of that, our country is the second largest producer of rice in the world. And the first one is China, followed by China. Please put off your, mute yourself, okay? So rice is a staple food and our country is the second largest producer of rice after China. And we've already studied about rice in when we studied about the Rabi, Kharif and the Zaid crops, that rice is a crop which is grown as a Kharif crop. And it is, if you remember, one important factor about it, that in places such as Assam, West Bengal and Orissa, there are 3 crops of rice which is grown in a year. And it's named as Os, Aman and Boro. So that's one important characteristic that you need to remember about rice. And you already know that it is a kharif crop. And you know that it has been sown on the onset of monsoons. That means it needs heavy amount of rainfall. So the annual rainfall should be above 100 centimeters, as it's mentioned here. As it's grown in the summer seasons, it is to be hot, so the temperature should be above 25 degrees centigrade. And rice is grown in the plains, the northern plains and the northeastern India, and all the coastal areas. As you can see, it grows in the northern plains, all the coastal areas, the deltaic regions, because you get sufficient amount of rainfall in these regions. And the soil is in the deltas is usually alluvial soil, so that's best suitable for growing rice. So now children, whenever you study or try to remember, understand whether you've remembered about all the points in a particular crop, you should think on these lines. So first, when you're studying, when you're trying to remember, you should remember about the cropping season. Now we were talking about rice. So the cropping season for rice is? Who'll tell me?
Kharif season.
Kharif season.
Yes. So it is Kharif, Sudesh. And the temperature, what kind of temperature and rainfall conditions is required for?
Temperatures above 25 degrees Celsius, and the annual rainfall should be 100 centimeters.
Yes, Ananya, you're right. And Tanvi, what about the soil conditions required?
Ma'am, it's grown best in alluvial soil.
Yes, alluvial clay soils, which is present in all the deltaic regions. And also we talked about the regions where they grow is the northern plains. And we know that the northern plains are very fertile alluvial soils, right? We've studied that the alluvium is brought down by the rivers, the Himalayan rivers. That's how the northern plains have been formed. So that tells us when it's growing in the northern plains, that means the soil suitable for it is alluvial soils. And there are certain specific features that we talked about the rice crop. Tanvi, what were the specific features that we talked about? We said that it's a staple food. We said that
food, and India is the second largest producer of rice after China.
Yes. One more important feature.
Development of canals and tubules help it grow in places like Punjab and Haryana.
Yeah, nowadays we can also grow this crop in regions where there is less rainfall because of the vast development of irrigation system has brought in the development of different kinds of canals and irrigation facilities. That's why we have been able to grow there. But Tanvi, one more important factor that we talked about is the 3 crops that we grow in West Bengal, Assam and Orissa in a year.
Aman and Boro.
Yes, Os, Aman and Boro. So we need to remember every crop that we are studying based upon these points. So we are not here basically training you to become farmers, right? So we needn't grow this crop, but then we should know certain basic features so that we can answer questions in accordance.
Ma'am, can you repeat about the Os, Aman and Boro?
Os, Aman and Boro are 3 crops, which are 3 crops in a season. In every year, regions in West Bengal, Assam, Bengal and Orissa grow 3 crops of rice in a year. And they have been named as Os, Aman and Boro.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we move to the next food crop, which is a grain.
Wheat.
Wheat. Very good. But then we all know wheat stands second as the most important cereal crop. And because first is rice, rice is the staple food crop which we use in India. And about this wheat even we've studied as a Rabi crop, if you remember, that it is the northern and the northwestern regions of our country is the place where this crop grows abundantly, because the temperature conditions are very suitable, and also because of the western cyclonic disturbances which give it enough rain during the winter. Because in case of wheat, what happens is it requires a 50 to 70 centimeters of annual rainfall distributed over the growing season. Through the season, it requires this much of rainfall, not that rainfall only during the monsoons and it's done. So because this part of the country gets rainfall even in winter, it makes it very suitable for growing wheat in this region. And you can see here, the regions where wheat is grown abundantly is in the Ganga-Satluj plains. Here you can see the Ganga-Satluj plains and the black soil regions of some black soil regions of Deccan Plateau even grows, we grow wheat sufficiently in this region. You should remember that this is a rabi crop, and the temperature conditions should be cool for growing such a crop. There's a need of certain amount of sunshine when it's ripening though. I'll show you the regions here. So these are the regions, as it's very clear that from the northern and the northwestern part of India is the important places for growing wheat. So again, when you try to revise, you need to remember that you should remember about the cropping season. The cropping season here is the Rabi season. The temperature conditions, it should be bright and sunny during ripening. The rainfall should be about 50 to 70 centimeters, which should be evenly distributed. And specific important things is about, it's the second most important cereal food crop. And the regions is the northern and the northwestern regions is where we grow this crop abundantly. Right, of course, you have other regions even where there is facilities you can grow there. You can see Rajasthan and parts of Madhya Pradesh even growing this crop. And the soil that is required here is what kind of soil? It's basically
black soil.
It's basically well-drained alluvial soil and black soil. So all these northern regions have alluvial soil, right? And some parts of the Deccan Plateau even we grow. That tells us that some black soil is also good enough to grow wheat. So this is about the rice and wheat, which are the major crops in our country. We'll follow it by the next most important crop. So here you can have something like distinguishing between wheat and rice. So points of distinction are the points that we have studied, and then you may be asked to write something like this. So the next most important...
Ma'am, can you just go to the slide again? Just
Which
a
one?
minute. The last.
This one? This is what we have already done, child. You've just tried to put it in a table so that you can organize your thoughts.
Okay? Yeah.
We'll do that again. Now see this, the next food crop that we are going to study is millets. Have you heard about, I'm sure in Karnataka, ragi balls are very famous as a kind of food, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. Anybody?
Yes, ma'am, I eat it every day.
You eat it every time?
Ragi mudde.
Wow.
Aniket.
Ma'am, Chaitanya.
Chaitanya, why does your mom ask you to eat that ragi mudde every time? Does she tell you about the...
It's very good for health. It's very good for health.
Right.
It's like
Ma'am, my mom
really
does
good.
not say me. I only eat it.
Oh, you love it? Great. But
Yes,
children...
Ma'am,
tell me.
ma'am, the chicken curry is awesome.
Okay, great. Okay, but basically, these are actually coarse grains. All these millets are coarse grains. Ragi is a kind of a millet. There are also jowar and bajra. In the northern regions, in the northwestern regions, if you have somebody here amongst us, you might be knowing about bajre ki roti they have. So this is even all these millets are actually very rich in, especially ragi is rich in iron, calcium and other micronutrients. So because of which it's considered to be very healthy and it's included in our diets to a great extent. And jowar is the third most important food crop. And jowar is actually grows in rain. It's a rain-fed crop. It needs a lot of water, so it's grown in moist areas which hardly needs any irrigation. So that where there's proper availability of water, it's a rain-fed crop, so it grows in moist regions. When coming to bajra, bajra grows well in sandy soils, okay, or in black soils. Well, ragi is a crop for dry regions. So So it grows well in black soil, sandy, loamy, shallow soil, but then it doesn't need much of water. It usually, dry conditions are very suitable for growing of ragi. Now I'll show you the places where we grow jawar. Jawar is basically grown in the states where like Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, as you can see on the map here. Coming to bajra, bajra grows well in these regions where, because it grows well in sandy soils, you can see them in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat and Haryana, because these are a little dry. And then we have the ragi which grows, it's famous. Just now Chaitanya told us about the chicken curry and ragi ball, so you can see Karnataka here. So Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and certain northern regions such as those of Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, they even grow ragi to some extent. So this is about the millets. So we have three major millets that we need to know. That is jowar, bajra and ragi. These are the important ones which are grown in India. In this case, you need to remember the soil type in which each one of it grows and the regions where it grows. That's that much which you need to remember about in case of millets. So you need to remember that jowar is basically growing in rain-fed. It's a rain-fed crop, so it needs moist areas. And then bajra grows in sandy soil, so you have those Rajasthan areas where it grows well, Rajasthan, Gujarat areas. And then you have the ragi. Ragi crop is basically a dry region crop. So it can grow in black, sandy, loamy, shallow, in all of these kinds of soil. But the majority or the biggest producers of this is in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So that's about millets. So now we move to the next food crop. The next food crop is maize. But there's something special about this crop is that it is used both as a food as well as a fodder crop. So what is fodder? Who will tell me?
Food.
Food for animals.
Food for animals.
Yes, so it's eaten both by human beings as well as animals. So it acts as food for both animals as well as humans. And it is, if you remember, it is a kharif crop. But in some regions, it is also called as it is a rabi crop. This is one of the favorite questions which always comes in the examination is about which state grows maize as a rabi crop. It is Bihar, which grows maize as a rabi crop. You need to remember this. Certain exceptions are always there. We've also learned that we can grow any crop anywhere depending upon the facilities available. But Bihar grows it as a rabi crop. Otherwise, it's a kharif crop. The temperatures, since it is a kharif crop, it's very much evident that the temperature that it requires should be high. So the temperature is between 21 to 27 degrees centigrade. Soil, alluvial soil, fertile. When you talk about fertility, alluvial soil is the best soil. So here too, alluvial soil is very suitable for growing maize, as you can see here. But in case of maize, we are using many modern inputs like the HYV seeds. What is HYV, children?
High yielding
seeds.
High yielding variety of seeds.
Correct. And we are using all of this has contributed to the increase in production of maize to a great extent in our country. Agnes, take that hand out from your head. Yes, that's better. So major maize producing states, as you can see here, is Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh. So basically here we know that maize is a kharif crop, but it's grown as a rabi crop in some regions, like in Bihar. The temperature conditions required is about 21 to 27 degrees centigrade. And then we require alluvial soil for this. And nowadays, crop in specific points, you can always mention that this crop is been growing abundantly nowadays. because of the various modern inputs and facilities that are available now. So we're utilizing high, what's this? Okay. So we are utilizing lots of fertilizers, irrigation facilities. So the regions which do not get sufficient amount of rainfall even, we are able to grow this crop. So the major maize producing states as mentioned below. So the next major crop that we are going to talk about is pulses. Can you name a few pulses? Anybody?
Moong, arhar.
Yes, Tanvi.
Gram.
So Tanvi goes grocery shopping with mama often. You know all the names? Great.
No,
Yes.
ma'am.
Ma'am, moong.
No?
Moong.
Moong.
Urad.
Urad.
Arhar.
Yes. Now tell me, which are the two pulses which grow as a rabi crop when we've studied initially when we have differentiated between them? Aniket can tell me?
No.
No?
No, no, ma'am.
Why no? What are the rabi crops? Amoga, tell me what are the names of the rabi crops? Major rabi crops. Where's Amoga? Is he present today?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there. One second. I was not able to turn it on.
What
Ma'am,
happened?
wheat, barley, peas, and gram.
Yes, wheat,
And,
barley,
even
peas,
mustard.
gram and mustard, right. So peas and gram are the only two pulses which can be grown as a rabi crop. The rest of them are kharif crops. So that is one basic distinction that you need to remember. And like Aniket told us and Tanvi told us the names of the major pulses. Tuar, urad, moong, masoor, peas and gram are the major pulses. India is actually the largest producer of pulses, but we are the largest consumers too. Because as all of you all should be knowing, it's a very rich source of protein. And the major, and for all the vegetarians, it's the only source of protein, the major source of protein. Because this is where they get the maximum from. So that's why India is also the largest consumer and the producer for pulses. One more important factor here which you need to remember that these pulses except arhar is all are leguminous crops and they help in actually restoring the soil fertility. If you know what a leguminous crop is, I'm sure you'll be able to understand why I'm saying this, because the roots of leguminous plants contain nitrogen fixing bacteria. Can you name the bacteria? You might have studied it in bio.
Blue-green algae. Blue-green algae.
Rhizobium.
Rhizobium.
This bacteria actually converts the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates, so the plant can absorb the nitrate and use them. And hence the leguminous plants also helps in replenishing the nitrogen in soil. Have you done this in your bio?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You want me to show a video of that? Would you like to see, or you understand nitrogen fixation?
Anyway.
Huh? What did you say, Aniket?
Anyways.
Anyways, huh? So if you have studied, that's great. So it's basically you need to know that it helps in fixation of nitrogen to the soil. So when nitrogen fixation happens, the fertility of the soil increases. So that's why pulses, these leguminous crops are usually grown on a rotation basis. Like what is crop rotation here is, if example, crop A is grown and then they grow a pulse. After that, they grow crop B, then again they grow a pulse. So because when they grow pulses on rotation, what happens? The fertility of the soil is rejuvenated because of nitrogen fixation. So usually it is grown on crop rotation to maintain the fertility of the soil. So to restore the fertility of the soil because of the fixation of nitrogen from the air. So but these pulses need less moisture to survive. They can even survive dry conditions. So that's one important factor. And it's mainly grown in Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, and Karnataka. These are the major places where pulses are grown. So you can see here on the map too. So these are the major pulses producing states. So this is about the food grains, the major crops which are food grains. If you can come back, I'll show you a table here. You can make a table like this, children. So where you have the name of the crop, you have the cropping season, you have the temperature, the rainfall, the soil, the specific features, and the location where you grow them. So this table I have made only for the food crops which are in the form of grains. You can see here the crops: rice. You can see here it's rice, wheat, millets that is jawar, bajra, and ragi, maize, and pulses. So these are the major crops, food crops, which are grains that we have studied. So here you can add them all like this, like written rice. We've studied that rice is a kharif crop. Temperature required is above 25 degrees and high humidity. Rainfall is above 100 centimeters. Soil required is alluvial or clayey soil. It is the second largest producer of rice in the world after China. And one more specific feature that we had discussed about, that Assam, West Bengal, and Orissa has 3 crops of paddy, so which is known as Os, Aman, and Boro. The regions where it grows is northern plains and northeastern regions and the deltaic regions. Similarly, here when we talked about wheat, we studied that it is a rabi crop. It needs cool growing seasons and bright sunshine. It requires some amount of winter rain, which is brought about because of the western cyclonic disturbances. It requires a well-distributed rainfall between 50 to 75 centimeters. Soil that is required is well-drained and alluvial and black soil. That's why certain deltaic or Deccan regions also we have see wheat growing. Main food crop. Specific features: it's the main food crop of north and northwestern states of India. And the 2 important zones according to the soil, alluvial and black soil. So it is the Ganga Satluj plains and the Deccan regions where you find this kind of crop. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, so okay. So then we talked about millets. Millets, these are coarse grains and which have high nutritional value because of a very high nutritional value. And we basically grow 3 kinds of millets, that is jawar, bajra, and ragi. All of them grow in areas of high temperature and low rainfall. But jawar needs less fertile soil, which should be moist basically. And millets, as we've studied, it requires sandy soil, and bajra. And ragi, it can grow in black, sandy, loamy, shallow, black soils. So they are known as coarse grains. Okay. So these have very high nutritional value, and because of which they have grown in different regions of our country, which I have already mentioned to you. Now the next crop that we have studied is maize. Maize is again a kharif crop. But I've talked about one specific place, state where maize is grown as a rabi crop. Which one is it?
Bihar.
Bihar.
Very good.
Bihar.
You're listening. So the temperature required is 21 to 27 degrees. Rainfall is between 50 to 100 centimeters. Soil, we have here studied that nowadays we are using lots of fertilizers and high yielding variety of seeds and modern irrigation facilities. So we are being able to grow maize in most of the places. It's used both as a food as well as a fodder crop. That is very distinctive feature, and it grows in alluvial soil. And then we come to pulses. Pulses, we are the largest producer of pulses and largest consumer of pulses too. One more important thing that we need to remember here is pulses are, except arhar, they are all leguminous plants with help in nitrogen fixation. Because of that, they're grown on rotation with other crops. And it needs